Good morning, my friends. Welcome back to Randall's Little Adventures. Thanks for stopping by. So today, we're going to take another look at another rendition of the good old Get Home bag. This bag is quite a bit bigger than my last one. This is a Fox Tactical. I tried to find information on it. They don't even make this particular backpack. They are still in business, still make backpacks, but I didn't see this one available. It's about a 30-ish liter backpack, 25, 30 liters. But I've had this pack for a long time, and anybody that's watched the channel for, going on for a while, I've had Alice packs, I've had little sling bags, I've had everything in between as far as a Get Home bag. For right now, this is it. I'm more satisfied with this one than any of them that I've ever had in the past. And one reason is that all my Get Home bags, they're all good. They'll all keep you alive. Only problem is, if you didn't make it home, they sucked to stay out overnight with. Just absolutely sucked. I'm getting older, all right? I can't just curl up in a poncho, lean up against a tree. I might as well just keep walking because there's no rest in that for me. Many broken bones. It hurts. It hurts to sit on the ground. It just hurts doing just about anything. So I kept this one comfort in mind-ish. Well, the first thing people say is ounces equal, the first thing they say is ounces equals pounds and pounds equals pain. And I am fully on board with that. So we tried to keep this one as light as we could. Let's get into it. Let's see what we got in here because there has been a lot of change. Some things have stayed the same, but there has been quite a bit of change. I just realized I got all the way to the end of this video. I've even repacked all my bags. There's a couple of things I wanted to show you that I didn't do, so I'm going to do it now. I'm also carrying this trekking pole because one, I need something for my tent. This is what supports my tent. Two, quite honestly, with the way my knees and everything are going, I really should use a trekking pole. So this is a handy piece of gear. Second, I never showed you the pack weight. So I've got my fish scale here. This scale is pretty accurate. I used to use it in fishing tournaments. I've caught fish that I weighed in the boat and they were only 0.02 of a pound off of what the fish weighed by professional scales. So that's pretty good. See that? That is 22.55 pounds. 22.5. What's your Get Home bag weigh? Let's go on with the show. We're going to go into the first pocket. This is the easiest pocket to get into. And I want to just lead off when I bring this first item out. This bag is not exactly the way I want it, because you do not really want a tourniquet inside of your bag. It's better not having one, but that is not ideal. So anyway, I have an actual tourniquet. Again, right on top, this is my fire making happening kit. Inside this snuff can, I've got Vaseline infused cotton balls. They'll strike in just about any type of condition. I've got a little couple of cheap ferro rods in here. I've got a cigarette lighter in here that we don't know if it works or not because I haven't tried it in the last 6 months. And we're just going to go ahead and do that now. Ta-da! Got a little Swiss Army knife, got a set of earplugs, and the backup flashlight. And it still works. It is almost due for a battery change in those. So that's the first little bag, and I tend to keep everything in a bag. I want everything, it's secure, all the stuff, like-minded stuff, pretty much in one spot. The next thing that's right on top of the bag, and we may be using here in a minute, is a can of off. As you can see, it's in a bag by itself. I'm not worried about the off getting wet, but if this button depresses inside of my bag, that would be bad without it being inside the Ziploc. And the mosquitoes are kind of bad out here right now. We may be using that here momentarily. Next, right on top, is a pair of gloves. These have been used lightly, and I would definitely suggest using gloves in your get home bag that have been worn at least somewhat. There's a lot of these gloves that have defects in them, and the last thing you want to know is your gloves are defective when you're in a get home situation. The next thing I have, this is a new piece of kit for this gear. This is a new piece of kit inside this get home bag. This is a USB and solar charge solar panel. This is a little lantern. It's got a lot of different modes. This is dim. It also has red flashing if you need the signal. I'm not a huge fan of the signal. Pretty much, if it's come down to where I'm using a get home bag, I'm trying to stay away and not be noticed. It also has a little handle. You can hang this up. You can set this down in a direction and actually be able to see what you're doing. Also comes with this little USB-C cable, and it has a USB 2 port on the other side. This will actually charge your phone. It will charge your devices. It doesn't take long to charge up. It's about 3 hours. Pretty handy little piece of gear. And all these new pieces, I'm going to put the link to them down in the description. All right, let's see what we got next. We have a pair of extra socks, and we have a shemagh. Socks are super important. If you're walking for a long ways, every time you stop and you know you have a long ways to go, it's probably recommended that you change your socks out and hang your other socks on the outside of your bag. You're walking, I'm going to take this out so you can see it. A little bit of gold bond, and this is friction defense. So all those little hot spots where your jeans rub you or your belt's hammering you or wherever, that's going to come in clutch. That will help stop rashes and just heat. Heat will do bad things to you. And I believe that is all for the first pocket. Let's see what we got here. Before we open up the main, there is another front pocket here. These are also, you want to be able to get the stuff fast. Everybody carries a military poncho. Everybody. A military poncho can weigh up to 2 pounds. And remember, pounds equals pain. So I have this little poncho. I've never tried these ponchos. I've got a whole pack of them. I'm going to pull one of them out and try it, probably this week. Or we could use the get home bag out here in the rain and have no choice but to use it. But I have that. I also have this kit with this cute little bear. And there's people that have seen this in the past and they're probably, oh my goodness, this was made for kids. You got to take your kids to the park and they come out scummy and they're dirty, just the way kids are. They play. This actually has it's soap. They're like little sheets of paper, but they're actually soap. You pull one out, mix it with a little bit of water, boom, you have soap. Also have a few wet ones in here. There they go. The wet ones that have been sailing around with me for God knows how long now. They're probably all dry as a bone and they all need to be changed out. But I would rather have them because I can always put a little bit of water into them and I can get cleaned up. We just have random sized Ziploc bags. I don't know how, there's 2 or 3 bags in here. Always handy to have, and they don't weigh hardly anything. All right. We have a little emergency blanket. It's just a little Mylar emergency blanket. Can come in handy if conditions are wet. You can separate yourself from wet ground, or just use it as an emergency blanket. I have a piece of tin foil. Mostly I use this in windy conditions. If I've got my S-bet stove, I actually use this to kind of block the wind. One of my favorite things in here, due to its lightweight, these are Compu wipes. There's 10 wipes in here and they spread out into a pretty nice sheet. All you do is add 2 drops of water to one of these little tablets inside this tube. You're going to need that before you get home, I can promise you. All right, that is it for the front pocket. Now also here on the front you can see this is my first aid pouch. I've done a whole video on this first aid pouch. I am not pulling this thing apart. This first aid pouch came from Refuge Medical. It's a really nice piece of gear and I like it. All right, here we go. Also keeping in mind that what's on top is what you need to access more often. And the first thing in here is this water bladder. This is a 2-liter little bladder. You basically take the top off, you scoop up your water, you fold it back over, put your seal back on, and you have 2 liters of water ready to be filtered. You can clip it to the outside of your bag you need to. If it won't fit back in your bag full, it seems very durable. I don't know, I've never used it, but that is coming up here pretty quick. Next thing, I have just a random bags of coffees and Ultralight, and just after you get somewhere, because quite honestly I'm not going to make it home in one day from anywhere. If I went to town for bread, it's going to take me at least 2 days to get home. That evening I'm going to sit around and have some coffee, because coffee is life. Next thing is a little snack kit. Now I do carry some bouillon. I've got some chicken, I've got some beef bouillon. I've also got these protein bars. These have been really good protein bars. And these are just about end of life. They probably need to be changed out. I only recommend any kind of food, you shouldn't leave it in your bag, because it's sitting in your truck, your car, your whatever. If you're in the heat, I don't know how much you want to trust them. If I'm in a bind, I'm going to try one. Next thing I have is this is just a loose items bag. It's got all kinds of goodies in it. I carry a fishing kit, which I've shown that before on a video. I've got my S-bit medium pocket stove that I've shown off numerous times. And basically, I've got another fire starter in here. I've got a knife sharpener. You never know, you might have to fillet a fish and need to put a little edge. I got several of these little solid fuel tabs in here for my stove. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I've got a lid for my canteen cup. If you want to boil something just a bit faster, you need a lid. Could use the tin foil I showed off, but I've got a lid. All right, let's go. I've got one canteen cup. Nothing special about this. It's just an aluminum canteen cup. I've used it many times. I've got a smart water bottle. This is the only starting water in this bag. This is basically to get you from your drop-off point, I got left point, whatever. This is what I start with. It's a nice, durable, tough bottle. It's not going to rupture in your bag. They're just really good. And they fit the filter that I have. I have one MRE, random pick. This one is a chicken burrito bowl. A lot of people break these down. My phone has sank, hasn't it? My phone is sinking. It is. I just noticed that. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that. I guess it's about time to order a new tripod. Won't even hold my phone up. But anyway, this MRE, a lot of people break these down and make them a little bit lighter. But I tell you what, I like everything in these MREs. All the way down to the Chiclets gum. If you don't have a toothbrush in the morning, that Chiclets might be the cure. Next thing I have. This is the tent that I just showed off, and this was the whole purpose for this tent. This Nightcat single man ultralight tent. Look at that. Look at that cute little dude. Folds up just right inside this Get Home bag. I have found out, I've tried the hammocks, but you gotta have a hammock. You gotta have a tarp to go over the hammock. It just becomes a pain. I don't like it. I didn't sleep comfortable in it. So we have this Nightcat tent. Homie is not sleeping on the ground. Not gonna happen. Let me see if I can feel it out. This is basically just a no-name air mattress. Now I have a Climate Static V, but I'm a side sleeper. And the Static V is like a 2-inch thick pad, and I hit the ground, and I hate it. Hate's a little strong word. It's not very useful for me in this application. This little dude weighs 1.9 pounds. This is a 4-inch thick mattress pad. I've laid on it, but I haven't slept on it. So it's been out of this bag. Oh, and also it comes with its own air pump. That's a handy piece of info right there. Get out gear. All right. So this is just a little Wooby blanket. It weighs less than a military poncho liner. It's fluffier than a poncho liner, and it just feels warmer. It's basically it's a polyester feel, kind of like a cheaper sleeping bag. But you want something, and this, it's all about the weight in this bag. And this is an excellent piece of gear. Down at the bottom, I have the stakes and guy ropes for the Nightcat tent. So there's the little stake bag. I took it out of the main bag so I could actually fold it up a little tighter. And I have a snug pack pillow. You know why? Because I almost drowned in my sleep if I don't have proper pillow. I've got to have a pillow. And there's a pillow. I'm tired of sleeping with a rock for a pillow. Inside this back You can see this little zippered pocket. This is my water filter. This is a Sawyer mini water filter. Quite honestly, I've never used this filter before, and that's going to change. And I've got the little bag. This thing doesn't hardly hold squat for water. It's what, 16 ounces of water? But hey, 16 ounces. If the other bag fails, I have this bag. If this bag fails, I've got the smart water bottle, which this will screw onto, and I can just pour it into my canteen cup. If this fails, I could boil water in my canteen cup. Don't want to do it, but there's the options. And, oh, this is going to make the hardcore hard chargers lose their mind. Now, I'm not going to take this all apart, but anybody that's watched my channel knows exactly what this is. This is my One Tigress Promenade chair. It is 2.4 pounds. I know. Come on, tell me all about it. Guess what? While you're huddled up in your mud hole, I'm going to be sitting in a chair. Just the way it is. I'm tired of the suffering. Tired of it. Walking with this thing is enough suffering. I do not need to suffer when I get somewhere. So that is my get home bag. That's it. Can things be modified? Absolutely. Can things be upgraded? Absolutely. Also, anybody that saw that little flashlight, that's not my only one. Because on me, anytime I leave the house, I have another flashlight on my belt. I also carry two speed loaders of ammunition. I've got my pistola on my belt, and I also carry, if I don't have a pocket knife in my pocket, regardless, I always have this one. So I've always got a knife. I can fillet a fish if I have to. I can do whatever. Pistola, and I usually, in my pocket, always have a lighter, because fire is important. Haven't smoked in years and years, way over a decade. Still carry a lighter every day. Now I can hear all the comments, especially about these three items right here. You don't need that. No, you don't need it. Look, don't take it. You can roll up in your poncho and lean up against a tree. Hey, I'll be perfectly good with it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm not forcing you to take it. But these three items, this is 1.5 pounds. This is 1.9 pounds. This is 2 pounds. And the chair is 2.4 pounds. All of these different items will allow me to get rest, recover, and be able to travel on the next day. And in truth, this isn't really a get home bag. Yes, this is my bag, and I don't know that there's a name. It's more of a supplement your life bag. There's times, this has been discussed before, sometimes I'm out of state, out of town, on the other side of the state. In some cases, it's not realistic that I'm getting home. But with what's in this bag will give me time to make decisions. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. So I wanted to show you the contents of this bag separate, because I'm going to start using this bag, and probably in the next couple of videos we are going to hardcore use this bag. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Maybe it gave you some more ideas for your bag. Maybe you just laughed all the way through. I don't know. But anyway, my friends, I hope y'all have a great rest of your day, and we will talk to you next time. Take care, my friends.